Faza! Let's talk about it. What does that even mean, Bowers Game?
YouTubers, welcome again to Bowers Board Game Corner. My name is Lucy. We have Josiah and, of course,
Forrest. We met. But today we're talking about Faza. This one is from thefaza.com, and it's for 1 to 4 players, ages 14 plus, taking about 90 to 120 minutes to play. And in the Faza, this is a completely cooperative game where you are going to be playing as this little different colored person that's going to be trying to go around and defeat aliens and defeat these big motherships and slowly beat down these motherships. And if you can beat all the motherships, you'll win the game. It's kind of a pandemic-y vibe where there's different ways to lose the game because tiles can get flipped over and become toxic, or you can essentially make it so you have no more aliens to spawn. There's different ways to lose, only one way to win. It has one of the big interesting mechanisms is that everyone's taking their turns just all willy-nilly. So it's kind of like a moving puzzle, really, it feels like, where everyone's just trying to be like, oh, I should do that. Oh, actually, can I do this before you do that? So that way we can sync up my ability with that. There's special abilities, there's damage, there's a lot of cool stuff. If you want to check out exactly how it works, go watch a gameplay video on it. This is a review, though, so let's give our thoughts on Faza. We played the easy version of it, though, so these are impressions. Who wants to start?
I'll start.
Yeah.
So I really don't like cooperative games that much. And if I had known this is in 90 to 120 minutes, I probably would not have been interested at all. But it once we got the rules down, it went pretty fast paced. Like you said, you can take your turns out of order. It was really cool because of that. And the art style was really nice. I think those things set it apart. And I liked it. It felt a little fiddly at first, but I think the second time playing, it probably would be pretty good. So.
And I take the fiddliness on the chin a little bit because I read half the rule booklet and then I watched a 22-minute video on how to play it, and then I had to come back and check it back and forth. But I definitely think you hit the nail on the head. Like, once you know it's like when I teach this to anyone else or when I play a solo version of it, because I do plan on playing it solo, I think it will go much smoother. Because, like I said, it's cooperative. You can do action simultaneously well if we really wanted to. What did you think about it, Lucy?
I liked it. It was a cute little game, like a cooperative one. Like, again, like kind of like Josiah. Like, I'm not the biggest fan of cooperative games, but this was a nice one. I feel like there's a little caution of like if like other cooperative games kind of lend themselves to like the alpha gamer. This one can definitely do that because I kind of felt bad during sometimes. Cause like I'm usually not the alpha gamer. But, like, I felt like I was trying to, like, take over people's turns, and I felt bad. And it's one of those things where it's just, like, cause, like, unlike other games, where, like, it's your turn and only your turn, this one, since you can, like, go back and forth, you can try to sort of, like, almost kind of control other people's turns and, like, when they go.
Well, yeah, you know what you want to do is, like, so I can use my Tesla coil so I can do this and that, and it's like, so you should do this, and I'll Tesla coil that.
Yeah.
But, so, yeah, I definitely think that is a valid concern.
So, yeah, like, I mean, I like the gameplay, but there's something just on my mind that's saying that it's not for me.
I think I
would prefer a solo game.
Yes, I'm excited to try it solo. And the thing that we haven't mentioned, which is really a selling point to the game, and which is going to give this game legs, I believe, is that every time you deal damage to one of these monsters in a standee, the dice goes down, but then you draw one of these what are called Faza cards. And this stack of cards is completely unique. There's a good chunk of these, and these are like just random actions. So some are good, some are bad, some will give you items.
Most are bad.
Some will kill things, but every once in a while you get the good and be like, oh, there's a good. But there's a good deal of variety, and we only went through like, what, maybe 12? You go through 12 of these, yeah. So you are going to see some variability where things pop up. I feel like there's enough legs on this to warrant numerous plays. I like the components. I didn't have any issues with any of the components.
The components were good. The cards felt nice. The little figures are so adorable, which I'm a sucker for.
And that's something.
Everyone's clearly coded, except for that dice that's a different color. Than there's a die that is completely miscolored. You'll figure it out, but it's annoying. But the other thing is, I like how they use their space in this game. I thought it was really clever because
as the red, I was either going to be the scout or I was going to be the soldier. And they had their own unique special ability. So whichever one I didn't pick, I flipped over and then it became a player reference card. And I like when games use their space well. And I thought like everything is double-sided. Now that I think about it, everything except for the cards is double-sided and useful on both sides. They really optimize the usage of space here. There was a good deal of thought put into the game. I felt like the rule booklet, when I had to go to the rule booklet, it wasn't lagging too much.
Yeah, no.
I mean, what did you think about that? Because we did go back to it quite frequently, but that's because I didn't read it all.
But yeah, I think that the rule book was well put together because whenever he had a question, he was answered within a couple minutes. And the one time where he griped about something not being in the rule book, it was actually there. It was actually there in the spot it should be, and he just looked in the wrong spot. So, yeah, the rule book was well put together, and that's
very dummy proof.
Yeah, coming from perspective that I didn't read the rule book, it still was pretty well put together.
Yeah.
So here's another question. Odd question. Do you think you could teach this game in a week? Like, if you got it out, you set it up, you think you could teach it pretty smoothly?
Yeah, because that's like sort of like that solo puzzle vibe, which I'm used to playing with games. But I just can't. In my back of my mind, I can only just keep on thinking of like I feel this is like a better solo game.
I agree with you completely because that alpha gamer problem, I had not thought about it because, you know, if somebody says you should do this, you should really do this, I would be like, forget, you don't do it. I
do whatever I want.
But yeah, for other people that actually want to play the game correctly, I could see that. Like if we were playing this with Alan, I think it would have been a very different experience because you'd be like, this is the optimal move. Yeah, so that's a great point.
And like other games, like it's on your turn, so like you can do your moves no matter what. But because we can go at different timings, it makes it so much more. You have to kind of be in control to be optimal.
What did you think about taking damage and that messing with the cards? I thought that was really clever.
I like that. Pretty clever. Yeah, like there's like because like and you can also like see based on different abilities like also come into play. Like for example, you guys had like that plane move, which like let you move more spaces and made you more valuable. That's why I was like, I'll take the hits because my valuable cards are only like in the 3 and 4 spot.
Yeah, so let me explain that real quick. You had 4 action cards in front of you, so at your core, you could take 4 actions, but you could actually take way more actions than that because you can just shoot things. The combat is also easy in this. We didn't mention the combat. It's super simple and streamlined, which
you just roll as many dice as there are enemies, and then if you roll a 4 or above, you kill. Any rolls that you do less of, you take damage for instead.
And you can modify stuff, and there's lots of different cards. But I feel like we're pretty much... So here's the bottom line. This is the last question in the game. If I were to say, I don't want this, would you want it?
Honestly, no.
Okay. And you're coming at that mostly from a solo puzzly type perspective, I'm assuming. Yeah. Okay. What about you, Josiah?
I don't traditionally like cooperative games. I feel like the next time I play this, I would have to look at the rulebook too much because I think the rulebook is just a little too long for how fun the game is for me.
Okay.
And I don't like cooperative games, so take my thing with
this is coming from two of the 3 judges aren't the biggest fan of cooperative games.
Well, I am a big fan of cooperative games, and this one honestly would boil down to the experience I have with it. Not so much solo, because really when it comes to solo games, I like more of an exploration adventure type thing.
Yeah, that's
puzzling
the thing.
Or getting high scores is just not for me that much. But as a family weight game, I could easily teach this game to my son tomorrow, and I think he will enjoy it. So pretty much, whether or not I keep, and I'm actually going to play it on my tomorrow night game night as well, but it's really going to boil down to my son for me, because I do like cooperative games, but I wouldn't put this ahead of Pandemic. I wouldn't put this ahead of a lot of other cooperative games I've played, but it's different enough that if you like cooperative games, I think you could find a slot on your shelf for this.
Cooperative fans will appreciate this because how different it is from other cooperative games, but gamers that like a plethora of different mechanisms, I feel like this one's more catered to the cooperative fans.
Yeah.
I would agree with that. So that is Faza. If it looks like it might be a cup of tea, be sure to check that one out. If you're enjoying what we're doing, please be sure to click on the subscribe button down below. Also, in the comments below, let me know what is your favorite piece of media. It could be any media that is older than 50 years old. So 1970. So think of something.
I wasn't born in like the majority of that.
Yeah, but surely there's a movie you've seen that you've... What? Do I look 50? I'm not 50.
Head,
I know
I've
the
got an
stats
answer already.
Wait, what is it?
Doctor Who, 1963.
Okay.
Oh,
see, that wasn't hard. Like, you go chitty chitty bang bang or something. I don't know. I hate chitty. I've never seen chitty. I should say I hate chitty bang bang. For me personally, I'm gonna go with this is a good cop. I'm gonna go with the Beatles. I guess it's super cop out. They're great.
Oh,
They're really good.
jeez. I don't know.
What's your favorite old movie?
I mean, can it be? Does that have to be a movie?
Disney.
It could be. I said media.
Oh,
I
media.
opened it up to
Okay, I
anything.
guess-
Media, song,
I
TV
guess
show.
also to cop out, I love like Lovecraftian books. They were so fun.
Just give me a book.
Yeah, well, series Lovecraft.
Yeah,
His
books.
series, the Cthulhu mythos.
Okay,
That
There you go.
sparked everything.
that's a great answer. There you go. But let me know in the comments
I'm a
below.
sucker for that kind of genre.
And as always, thanks for your time, you two.
See yas.
Nice.